Imagine a kindergarten. Children are playing, and one girl in the corner of the room is drawing something. The teacher came up to her and said, "Mary, what are you drawing?" And Mary said, "I'm drawing God." Teacher said, "But Mary, no one knows how the God looks like." Mary raised her eyes and said, "Well, now then you're about to find out." This is a story about the girl whose creativity flow was endless and unstoppable. But what is creativity? Guys, who can answer what is creativity? Any idea?
The possibility to see things from different angles and try to invent something that could be rise from what we have right now.
Interesting, yes.
Out of the box.
Great.
Unusual approaches.
Unusual approaches. Great, thanks for your input. What Wikipedia says about it is it's a phenomenon of creating something new and somehow valuable. It can be either physical object or something intangible like an idea. But the bad news is that we are growing out of creativity with the age. Because of our fears, because of our constraints that we have in our mind. But the good news is it all can easily be developed. And I'll try to give you some great tips today, 9 of them. Because creativity is not actually magic. Creativity is a product of our brain. So let's start. Now the first is capture ideas when they come. It's not necessarily that the ideas come when we want them to. Often they come when they want. And at this point we have to have a serious system of capturing them when the idea is there. In the age of technology, there are a lot of things that we can do. For example, you can send text message or email to yourself. You can record an audio on your phone. You can use phone's notes. And what I also did, I installed Google Docs at my phone, and sometimes I even write Toastmaster speeches on the go. So use it and try to capture your ideas whenever they come to you. The tip number 2 is get into a state of a flow. It is a proven fact that in a state of a flow, you're getting more creative. What is the state of a flow? So several examples could be running, walking, showering, as you see in the presentation. It can also be falling asleep or waking up. This is also a flow of state of flow. You probably know a lot of instances when scientists made their great discoveries while they were sleeping. This is also a state of flow. As for me, I found that most of my ideas come in the shower, so I never waste time. I always try to capture new ideas while I'm showering, so you also can try it. Go ahead. Tip number 3 here is consider what you consume. If we consume junk, we cannot expect to create quality. So, if you're a fan of a TV show like "Люба, мы вбиваємо дітей", you might want to reconsider what you consume. Everything we read, everyone we interact with, TV shows, movies, events we attend, everything influences our creativity. One of the greatest ideas I have for you is to visit inspirational events, such as Toastmasters meeting, of course.
Excuse, please. I don't know if I agree with that point. I think you should take in all information all the time, because otherwise we can develop cognitive bias to something and exclude out what will give us a new idea. What do you think of that?
It's a great point. Thank you for your question. It's a great point to consume information all the time, but you cannot be creative all the time, right? So you collect all the thoughts, and when you need to come up with an idea...
What about when I want to relax? Just to watch "Люба, мы вбиваємо дітей", because I was too infatuated by other information, just to relax. May I do that?
Thank you, Natalie. Of course you may, but you know how it influences you. But of course, guys, it's not that you cannot relax at all. Of course you can relax at times, but you need to be aware that too much of consuming of this stuff is influences badly. And try to consume what you consider would make you a better you, and which help you somehow to develop your skills. Now moving on with the tip number 4, which is let go. As we know, idea is not coming when we're expecting her to come, so sometimes you just need to step out and let go and let the creativity in. Meaning, when you have done already some techniques and you tried different ways to come up with an idea, but it's not coming, just relax and let the creativity in. Tip number 5 is play the if I were game. The idea is that you imagine yourself a person with a certain trait that you need for solving a particular problem. And you try to think, what would that person do in your instance? And come up with an idea of solution. So, for example, if you're in a conflict situation, think what your most reasonable friend would do. Or, for example, what I usually did, I had a very foxy boss at one of my works, but myself, I'm a very straightforward person and cannot be foxy usually. So, when I needed the situations like this, I imagined what would my boss do. And actually, that helped me to come up with a great idea to resolve this particular problem.
But it will be rise from your natural behavior. For the one time it could be, but for the next times you couldn't be behavior as your boss all the time because it won't be you.
Great point, Vika. I also suggest that we should be ourselves. However, if you don't develop certain skills, at times it just doesn't work. So sometimes you have to implement something new and open up for new ideas. So as for new behavior. But it's also our choice how to act, either to always stay on our own or try new approaches and see how it works. So try to play if our game and see if that works for you. Tip number 6 is collect inspirational stuff. You can use a folder on your notebook, or you can use some toolbox. There are some online tools, some of them are even free, where you can collect links, documents, pictures, whatsoever. And whenever you need to come up with a great creative idea, you just open up your toolbox and see what you can do with them. Can you play with something you found, and maybe you can create something.
It's not applicable in a small flat, I think.
In a small flat?
Yeah.
Can you explain in more detail what you mean?
For example, I have not so many space in my flat, and I can't put all this stuff in my flat every time.
That's a great point, because actually what I'm talking about is not spreading everything in your flat. I'm talking about digital instruments, online tools. So you can use an online folder and you can collect there any pictures, any
Make picture of your stuff and collect this picture.
Another great idea. So try to
about it into 10 minutes a day. You will put it all the time.
try to be creative with coming up with where to store your ideas. And online tools are usually working best for this. So, moving on to tip number 7, which is train your creative thinking. Routine is very helpful in creating something stable. But when it comes to creativity, you can try to mix it up. So whenever you want to do the brainstorm, don't wait till you come to a certain spot where you usually do it and for a specific time. Try to do it in different locations. Also, whenever you have a possibility, try to explore new routes. Try to do something in a new way, not how you used to do it before. Another great idea is to do an exercise like we're going to do right now. So what we're going to do is take 2 words, 2 different objects that are not connected, and try to find something that unites them, one quality that is similar, and come up with a sentence how you can describe the similarity. So, example from me. I have 2 objects, cat and a phone. What is similar about them? Here's the sentence. My cat is just like my phone. He is in a sleeping mode. He is in a sleeping mode for more than 20 hours a day. So let's take 1 minute and try to come up with 2 different objects and a sentence. Just to make it easier for you, I have a random keywords here. You can use those words and try to find a similarity. Can you, timer please, wait for 1 minute and tell me when it's over. Thank you very much. Anybody who wants to share? Yep. Sorry.
Okay, 2 words. I picked up pillow and a map, and the sentence is, my pillow is wet when I see the world map, because I realize how many places I haven't visited so far.
Oh. Awesome, thank you. Let's give a round of applause to Natalie. Eric wanted to share the
I also found map too. I said if I look on a map, I will find many places where there are rabbits.
Wow. Great idea. Thank you, Eric. Alex?
And my words are nuclear reactor and St. Valentine's Day. As nuclear reactor radiates alpha and beta rays, the people's heart radiate love on St. Valentine's Day.
Wow. Woo. Great example.
Explosive.
Why are pillow and books? Pillow is good for sleeping as a book. So late in the evening, when I want to fall asleep, I open a book and fall asleep.
Awesome. Eugene, you also wanted to get a
Yeah, but my example is probably only for men because I came up with socks and mouse, and socks are like mouse because they are black and gray, and I can never catch them.
That's hilarious. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the wonderful examples. You can try this exercise whenever you want to get creative, and I'm telling you, it will help you to thunder with ideas each time. And now we are moving on to tip number 8, which is listen to music while you work. It's a proven fact that music helps to concentrate. It also helps to calm your nerves whenever you feel anxious. And some sorts of music also help you to generate more creativity. But not all of them. Some music which is very fast or lyrics is changing rapidly can be even distracting. However, ambient or chill music can help you with creativity, and ambient music or chill music can be something like this. You got the idea. Yeah. And when you listen to music of this kind, you kind of try to fill this music with your ideas and your new images. So go ahead and try next time. But you know what? All of those ideas are actually useless if you don't use the main rule, which is prepare to be imperfect. At the beginning of my presentation, I said that brain is actually helping us to generate ideas. But brain is also stopping us from generating these ideas because of the fear to be imperfect, fear to be misunderstood, fear to be funny on the audience. What is the recipe? How to fight all this? You have to create something all the time, only practice. And whenever you practice, you start feeling like you don't need to be perfect anymore. So try, practice, of course. Do this all the time. And even if you think that you're not a creative person, and I know some of you think this, Stop thinking this way, because all of us are very creative inside. But this is a muscle that we need to develop. Creativity is like any muscles in our body. And I would like to end my speech with a citation from Steve Jobs, who said, "Creativity is connecting things. So try to connect things, come up with ideas, and share them with people." Thank you.